Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of We Watch Shudder. My name is JD. Who's here with me?
It's Michelle.
It's Michelle. Merry Christmas, Michelle.
Thanks. Merry 22nd of December to you too, JD.
Well, Michelle, I was trying to maintain the illusion that it's Christmas Day because that's the soonest...
You know we don't do that.
Oh, you're right.
You know we don't
do
lie
that.
to the audience. We're too honest.
Yeah, it's Sunday evening prior to Christmas. We're going to be talking about this movie called Carnage for Christmas, which you would have seen on the title of the episode. Yep. Michelle, even though it's the 22nd now as we're recording this, when it's the 25th, when the first people are listening to this, what are you doing?
Depends on the time of the day, but John's family celebrates on the 24th, my husband, so that's one of our celebrations. And then Christmas Day we go to my family, my dad's side of the family. And early in the morning, I'm very excited because the rescue that I talk about a lot on this show, it's what I spend 90% of my free time helping out with. I am going to the building and helping dogs unwrap their gifts. So that all the dogs that are not in foster system or foster homes, because we operate on a foster-based system, meaning that all of our dogs go to a foster family so that they don't have to live in a central building. But we will have a couple there during Christmas, and I'm going to go there and make sure that they all have Christmas gifts and treats and toys. And I'm really excited about it.
That's
what
awesome.
What you be doing, JD?
Well, before we get into what I'm doing, I just... Mm-hmm. I'm almost not even sure I want to bring it up because I know people are going to take it the wrong way and like I'm being a Grinch, but I'm not being a Grinch. I'm genuinely just like, the dog doesn't care if you wrap the gift, right?
You would be surprised how much fun they have with opening the gift. It's an enrichment activity.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a simple brown bag. Heidi, one of my fellow volunteers, wraps them, and it's the cutest thing. It's just like a brown bag with like a dog face on it, but they love opening the bag. My dog gets fucking ecstatic every time BarkBox shows up at our house. So don't try and tell me that they don't like opening it.
All right. Oh, I'm not saying that they don't enjoy it. I'm just saying like it seems like a lot of effort, but I guess I wasn't aware that.
I like
so,
the
like,
effort.
The dog itself actually, this isn't just like you opening the package for the dog.
No, we give them the bag and then they're allowed to destroy it. And we do this every year where I help with our giving tree, meaning that people can play Secret Santa to all of our dogs, and I help line up like people and what the dogs want, what their favorite treats are, and help coordinate with the fosters. It's a very complicated thing that I spend way too much time doing, but I love doing it. And my favorite thing is getting the pictures and videos when the fosters are opening it, and the dogs know there's something in the bag. They can smell the treats, and they just go crazy for it.
Well,
so yeah,
also,
they love it.
The other nice thing is, as people who listen to our previous episode will already know, you passed your algebra final, so you don't got to be worrying about that anymore. Even more fun on the Christmas.
Oh, yes. Now I get to take math again this upcoming semester, though. It's like a applied life type of math where it's like real life, like math.
So addition and subtraction?
I guess. I don't know. It's like understanding the economy and shit. I guess. Jesus. I don't know. It's like real life application of math. And I'm like, I'm in my 30s. I've done real life application of math. I'm so fucking old in comparison to all these other kids who are like, wow, I'm real excited about the future. I can't wait until I can vote in an election. I can't wait to pay taxes. And it's going to be real exciting when I pay for my own health insurance instead of being on my parents' health insurance. Wow, I'm excited to be able to rent a car at the age 25. I can't yet because that's a weird stipulation that car rental places have where you can't rent a car unless you're under the age of 25. And some hotels won't let me check into a hotel by myself at the age of 18. You have to be 21 plus. Oh, I love the future.
Michelle?
Yeah.
We just had a presidential election barely 6 weeks ago. Who are you taking classes with that wasn't able to vote in that election?
You know that people can start college at the age of 17, right?
No, I understand. But
Yeah.
you made it out like that was your entire class. It's like,
oh, no, I just know that there's like one fucker out there who's like, I'm taking this because I'm a really smart high school student. I'm not even in college yet. I'm just getting those credits ahead of time and I don't have to pay for them out of pocket.
Well, what
Fucking
happened-
Morgan getting part of her college degree because she's a genius. Morgan's my childhood friend who's the smartest person I know, and she is the only reason I passed Mr. Wickman's physics class. So thank you, Morgan.
Oh, God. Anyway, I didn't mean to. I mean, I did mean to derail us on a tangent. What will I be doing?
If it was
Christmas?
if it had been previous years, I know you would have been at oh my God, why did I forget the King's House buffet?
Yeah.
That would have been.
That will the Chinese buffet will probably be the Christmas Eve situation this year because Mom did ask me to make a more traditional Christmas dinner this year, so I'm going to make a ham, which the smart people in the world understand. Like, when you make a ham, like, the ham is already done. You just got to heat it through, right? There's not really, I mean, there are a few little things, but by and large, ham is a lazy man's dinner.
Hang on, JD.
And that's why I'm going with it.
Your mom asked for a more traditional dinner. I expect you to hunt down a hog and put that bitch in your oven.
No.
Do it caveman style. You gotta go, you gotta hunt.
No.
How traditional does she want it?
She just doesn't want to have Chinese food for Christmas dinner this year.
What the fuck, JD's mom?
We're gonna have ham, and we're gonna have mashed potatoes, and we're gonna have glazed
stuffing?
Carrots.
Ooh,
Probably
delish.
no stuffing. No.
What the
Might have either like a pasta or rice thing on the side, just with maybe some butter and some garlic and salt and pepper. That's just a very simple. But maybe not when we got the mashed potatoes going on. I don't know. Anyway, but I'll be watching football and eating ham and probably yelling at my dog.
Yeah, I will be at a house with at my aunt's house where there are no pets, and it feels very weird to be in a house with no pets, but she's deathly allergic to all animals. And it's just weird though to spend a day of like, what do you mean there's no cat here? Even if like I walk in a house and I don't see a cat, it's just assumed that the cat's hiding but watching. It's very weird to go to a house and be like, you have no pets? Are you okay? Do you travel a lot? Are you chronically ill? Or are you a psychopath who I cannot trust? Those are the three options.
Maybe all of those things at the same time.
Absolutely. Psychopaths do travel a lot.
Are you
they do be flying.
Are you big like opening presents on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day people? Because like me and mom tends to be a little bit more, but it's just her and I here for the most part. And basically we just been collecting my Christmas gifts as they arrived in the mail. Are you big on the ceremony? I assume if you're going to do it with the dogs, you're probably doing it with the family too, huh?
Well, my dad's family does not exchange gifts, so there we don't. What we do is we all donate to charities and then write cards saying, here's the charity I picked out on your behalf this year, and this is why I chose them. Yeah, it's a thing that my aunt's been doing. Like, when I was a kid, she would give me a gift, but as I grew up, I became one of the adults, which I also think sounds like a rich person thing of like, no, we don't need gifts. But it's just like, we're a small family and we'd rather put $25 towards like a thing and be like, hey, I know that you volunteer with Habitat for Humanity, so here's this, I donated to them because of you. And my aunt will be like, I found a news article about this charity in our area that helps girls getting into STEM related fields, so I donated to them. So anyway, that's what we do on that side. But gift giving is my love language, so I am a big gift giver. I don't want people watching me open gifts. That feels weird. I don't like it. I feel weird getting gifts. It's a thing I'm going to unpack with my therapist, probably unwrap that nice gift box with a bow at some point after the holidays. I told her I was going to make her work overtime over the holidays because I have some feelings. But I really love giving people gifts. Yesterday, Jenna, who never watches the movie Jenna, came over for Saturday, and we watched our friend Tristan watch the first 3 Saw movies. And I gave them their gifts, and I did give Jenna, I found an Etsy shop of a person who specializes in bad pictures of dogs. So her dog Mojo Jojo, I got a picture of him drawn by this person who does bad drawings and framed it and gave it to her. And like, I love giving gifts. And he's a Boston Terrier. He already looks pretty judgmental. So
I did pretty. So I already have all of my gifts. I did pretty all right this year. I got a couple of new. So everybody. I think I've talked about it before, but I've really gotten into cooking over the last couple of years. I've always enjoyed cooking, but never really got crazy. Anyway, I got a couple of brand new fucking cast iron skillets, which I've been just desperately wanting to get and just keep putting off and putting off and putting off. Got some nice cast iron skillets, a couple of different sizes, because you gotta have more than one. You gotta have a cast iron egg skillet. I don't know what you know about cooking eggs, but I went too long without an egg skillet. Anyway, I also got an awesome wedge pillow. This is what happens as you get older, is the kind of things you like are like, I could give a shit about a PlayStation. Give me something.
Whoa, hang on.
Give me something that squishes nice against my back so I can sleep without getting a crick in the middle of my back every night for the rest of my life. I asked for it, Michelle, not just received.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I also want the PlayStation.
Socks. Yeah. Just
okay.
Nice
here's
socks.
a weird thing. I haven't talked about it on the show. My entire life fucking hate socks. Fucking hate them. My feet constantly sweaty.
Really?
My feet with no shoes on, constantly sweaty. Probably not actually like visibly sweaty, but always feels so warm and clammy to me. Have hated socks my entire life. I don't know what the fuck happened, but in February, my feet got cold. I opened the drawer that has all the socks I've received as gifts. The handle was dusty because I just opened, throw some socks in there, and I put on a pair of socks, and I have been wearing socks like 5 out of 7 days of every week since. And I don't know what the fuck's happening. I have learned how not fun it is to wash socks. So now my hatred of socks is growing in a different way because I have to wash them and then I have to match them up afterwards.
Oh, no. See, that's where I play the smart game, is all of my socks are the same. I just buy socks.
So many dudes I know do that. No, if I part of my new love of socks is I have a good variety of socks. So I got some tie-dye ones. I got some rainbow ones.
Don't get me wrong. I do have a couple of fancy schmancy pairs of socks. But yeah, like I have there's all black. I have just a ton of black socks and I just wash them.
Ooh, you went black. Yeah, classy.
Black
Everybody
socks.
else does just white, and that's boring.
Well,
I got some black socks. I actively bought black socks. It's weird. I've never bought socks in my life.
So, Michelle, though, here's my question. I understand not enjoying socks because I went through a period of my life where I did. Look, guys, if you were looking for horror movie chat, we'll get there. We're talking about
it's
socks
Christmas.
Right now.
Fuck off. This is the holiday spirit. Go hang out with your family. What are you doing? What do you... Kate, why are you playing this while you were commuting to your family dinner?
It's this episode is not going anywhere. Turn it off. Go enjoy your family, and then come back.
Well, unless you have some family members you don't like.
It on Christmas, in which case, if you don't like your family, tell them to fuck off. But,
and then message me. We'll talk about it. You can also get into therapy.
Yeah, you can get into the. We should open a We Watch Shudder therapy clinic. That's totally legit.
I would be a very fun therapist.
Which is why you would be a terrible therapist.
Yeah, fun and terrible. I can be both of those. Not licensed, though.
No, definitely not licensed. So,
yes, socks.
Yeah, we should probably... So, socks, yeah. When you said you don't like socks, but that your feet sweat a lot. That being the case... are you one of those people who's like, well, I don't like socks, but my feet sweat a lot, so I'm still gonna wear socks so that my shoes don't get all sweaty and hot, or do you wear shoes without socks?
Two-part question. First part, I don't think my feet actually like get wet. They feel sweaty and clammy, but not actively sweating.
Okay.
However, I have basically tailored my shoes so that they are all flats that don't require socks or Crocs or sandals. I guess maybe not this year, but I have always been a sandals in the winter kind of person. And I have several pictures that my friends have taken, posted on social media, like, what the fuck is with this psycho, where I'm like inches deep in a snowbank wearing sandals because I just I don't give a fuck. I do not want to wear real shoes. But now I do. I did get some socks, and I have some sneakers this year too. So I have been wearing them with socks because I'm not going to be a psychopath and wear like gym shoes without socks. But I also just don't own shoes that require socks. And I'm almost always in like heels or wedges if there's no snow on the ground. So this is very I got a system. Yes.
Here's what I love about that.
Yeah.
Is you were like, I wasn't just like wearing sneakers without socks like some kind of psychopath. And here's the thing is that's what I used to do because I hated socks.
I mean, I've gone through that. Yeah, I absolutely have, but I was a psychopath.
Man, what a terrible, those, not good for you.
Yeah, high school, when I had the hormones going on in gym class, that's not a great time to not wear socks. That was a problem.
Do you, when you do wear socks now, as a new convert to the world of socks, do you have like a specific type of sock? Are you like a no-show ankle sock kind of person? Are you, do you have a preference?
It's actually very funny because I just went and said, I need more of this specific pair of socks. And I thought it was the funniest thing that I have now, not only am I wearing socks, I have a preference of socks. It's just a very weird character arc to go
Once
through
you become a sock person, it gets very specific. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there is one very specific, and I don't remember the brand, but Designer Shoe Warehouse is the only place I've found them. They are the no-show socks, and they are very soft. And I love them, and they only have anytime I go there, they only have one pattern, so I just deal with it, and I plan on shopping online. But yeah, no, I have a preference. There's a Designer Shoe Warehouse one that's very soft, and so yes, I have a sock preference now. It's such a weird development.
Yeah, well, and so I went through my phase where I didn't really care for socks too much. When I first started wearing them, I was very much into not the no-show low socks, but just a nice low-cut athletic sock, just a little bit over the ankle, not quite getting up to the shin. These days, fuck no, every sock in my drawer right now comes all the way up to my knee. I don't know what it is. Somewhere along the line, I got into a knee-high tube sock, and there's just something about that feeling of I don't know, that grip, just a little bit of grip, just a little bit of secureness around that entire lower leg all the way up to the knee. Something about that I just really enjoy. I'm wearing knee-high black tube socks right now. It feels fucking great.
My sock phase, I think, was sparked, and I did not realize that until this moment, that this is also the year I got into fishnet stockings. Ooh, so I think there's a relationship there of I went, holy shit, where have these been all my life? And then I was like, oh, well, if I can wear these that are just gigantic socks with holes in them, I can wear smaller versions that don't have holes in them. So if you haven't tried a fishnet stocking, wait until that phase in your life.
Right.
It's great.
Well,
great.
Anyway, that was a fun chat about socks that we got into. Because look, there will come a day where this is a thing that I've seen going around social media every year around the holidays, and it's the truth. I get it. You're a kid, you're in your teens, your 20s or whatever. Socks, big fucking deal, right? I get it. But there is going to come a day, I promise you, there will come a day where somebody will give you a nice pair of socks and you'll just be fucking blown away. You'll just be like,
change your life.
Where have socks been my entire life? I'm very much a socks person.
You know how The Mummy was a sexual awakening for people on all spectrums because they had Brendan Fraser and also the hot chick, and you went, I'm attracted to both of these. Oh, great.
For a minute, I thought you were talking about the Boris Karloff mummy, and I was like, wait,
well,
what are you? What?
For some people, maybe.
I guess.
But no, Brendan Fraser gave you a sexual awakening. Someday, you're going to get a sexual awakening. And you're going to be like, where has this been all my life? Why do I like this so much? I have to talk about this.
Carnage for Christmas. That's the movie. We're 20 minutes into this episode. Let's talk about
this
movie.
Holidays.
It is. We're having a good time. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus,
Ramadan,
if that's your
right?
thing. I'm not sure. I
Ramadan is.
I know Diwali is around this time.
That might be the one I'm thinking of. Oh, no, Ramadan is February. I fucked up. Sorry.
Way to go on the show.
I know.
Anyway, Carnage for Christmas. That's the movie we're talking about. Let me just say right off the bat, 70 minutes. Oh, crap. Let me tell you. That immediately, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about this one. What a perfect choice for a Christmas movie. Michelle, you know how I like to start this. What did you know about Carnage for Christmas going in?
Alice, is it Mayo or Mayo?
I'm not 100% sure. I've said Alice Mayo McKay, but that's, I have no basis for that.
Well, Alice then, because I don't know how to pronounce the middle part. So Alice, or McKay.
Alice McKay.
Miss McKay. I have a lot of their movies on my to-watch list. That includes Carnage for Christmas, T-Blockers, and Satanic Panic. So all three of those were ones that I was really looking forward to seeing. This is the first one that I am getting the opportunity to. And then I did not realize until I went back and went, oh shit, I didn't realize these are made by the same person. That Alice also made So Vam, which is one of my least favorite things that we have watched on this show.
And then
I went, oh no.
Also made Bad Girl Boogie.
Which I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay.
That's also on my list, and did not realize that was also an Alice Mayo or Mayo. So yes, I knew of her as a writer and director with many things coming out that I was excited for, and then today watching Carnage for Christmas, I went, oh no, So Vam was definitely not for me, is what that was so not for me. So I had like oh God, I hope these other three are not like that. So that's what I knew going into this was, oh man, she's actually responsible for a lot of things I wanted to say. Oh no, was the bit that I knew. How about you, JD?
I knew nothing about it until I saw it on the schedule. Also saw right away that it was from the same person who did So Vam, which I'll be honest, I don't remember a ton about at this point. I do very much remember that I enjoyed it a little bit more than you did.
Yeah, you gave it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
I didn't remember disliking it to a 1.25 out of 5 score, but that's what the spreadsheet says. I'm not going to go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah, there's a part of me that thought about going back and to listen to it, and I was just like, no, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's 2.5 years ago. This is also this is. So we just mentioned 5 titles, right? So Vam, Bad Girl Boogie, Satanic Panic, T-Blockers, and Carnage for Christmas. Alice McKay made all 5 of those movies in the span of about 3 years before she was 20 years old.
That's exactly why I was very kind in So Vam, because I said this was made by a high schooler. I no longer feel bad for disliking it because it's not made for me.
Right. But anyway, so that's what we're talking about.
That's impressive of putting out that much content.
But that's really all I knew so I was going in mostly blind, but I was definitely excited to see how it was going to play out. If for no other reason than is well-known Alice McKay, a trans filmmaker from Australia, and you know how much I love it when stuff like that gets exposure just for how it fucking rubs squares the wrong way. And we'll talk about a little bit about that coming up here, because there's some stuff that on the side of this that doesn't really have anything to do with the movie that kind of disappointed in Shudder about, but we'll talk about that.
They have made a correction though.
Oh, did they?
I also was going to bring up when we come back to that.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll talk about some issues here.
Yep.
All right, so Carnage for Christmas. Let me hit you with the descripty scripts for this film. Over the Christmas holiday, a true crime podcaster returns home where she becomes entangled in the tale of a historic murderer who may have returned. 2024, directed by Alice Mayo McKay. Perhaps Alice Mayo McKay. 70 minutes. Carnage for Christmas. Michelle!
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, let's see how this goes. Spoiler-free thoughts?
Spoiler-free thoughts. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing I need. It's Carnage for Christmas. No, actually, I wish I could say that. I don't want Carnage for Christmas. Why would you gift this to me? And it's a re-gift? What the fuck? Anyway, Carnage for Christmas. I went in with simultaneously low and high hopes, which was a very weird thing because I was so excited for this until I saw that it was the same person who made So Bam, and then I got very scared. It was all right. I didn't love it, but I didn't dislike it. I have realized with the little bit that I have also seen of trailers for T Blockers, Satanic Panic, Carnage for Christmas, and then also seeing the totality of So Bam, that Alice has a style that people really like. That doesn't seem to be the style that I love, but also don't have a problem with. It's like kind of retro. And goes back to like an 80s, 90s vibe. They're very indie and low budget, but not in a bad way where like this is cheap and you cut corners. It's just like this is not made with the production value of something else. But there are some things that like throughout the movie, like weird transitions that are like cool, but so outdated, you know? Where like this probably would have like blown people's minds in 1993. But it's like it's done with this love of like that. So like I recognize all of that, but that's also just not the style of film that I love. But that said, like I didn't hate the story. I like Alice's voice, and I think I would have loved to just listen to more of the podcast. Like to hear this entire movie told in the way that the first like 4 minutes of this movie starts, where they're just doing a podcast. I really just liked listening to that, and I do want to go see if she has a podcast covering true crime, because that was actually my favorite part of this. Then it just gets into kind of like a typical like true crime slasher whodunit kind of thing. And again, just also not like it's not anything new, not anything that I hate. It's just fine. I feel very in the middle about it. So I will give it a very middle score of 2.5.
2.5 skulls from Michelle on Carnage for Christmas. Do you want to know what I thought?
No.
Okay, let's go home. Say goodnight, Michelle.
How would you rate socks? Let's go back to our socks.
It depends.
Tell
what kind
me
of socks am I rating?
The Carnage for Christmas kind.
Oh, Carnage for Christmas. I like this. I had a good time with this movie. Look, first of all, A+ on the 70 minutes of it all. Holy shit. And I do want to point out, like, every one of Alice Mayo McKay's movies is like 80 minutes or less. All 5 of these that we've mentioned by name, 80 minutes or less, and I think you would at least agree that they succeed in telling their stories in that period of time, right? But this movie, I don't know, there's something about it that really resonated with me. Obviously, it's kind of slashery, and that's a thing that when it's done well, I really enjoy. There are bits of campy humor in this all the way throughout that I just fucking loved. There are a couple of little moments that add so much, I think, depth and significance that might otherwise be missed here. I really enjoyed this. I had a good time with it. It's one that I could definitely see myself watching on a somewhat regular basis come the holiday season, especially, again, being only 70 minutes. I like the stylized version, or the stylized way it's presented, the same sort of things that didn't really quite work for you. I enjoyed just the way it's presented like that. Overall, I had a really good time with this. This is like a 4-skull movie.
Whoa, I figured you were going to like it because you tend to like the retro throwback stuff a lot more than I do. And I know you also have a much bigger love of slasher style things. Well, the Santa's real creepy. Got to say that. I like the Santa costume.
Yeah, I don't even know that this is so deliberately retro as she's just working with what she has available to her, right?
Well, I mean, those transitions and things, though, the fading out, and one of my favorites was after the funeral, there's, like, the silhouettes, like, all just, like, cover up the screen in, like, a cool cutout fashion.
There
like,
are
all
little
of that is
weird
yeah,
wipes
it's definitely taking
are...
inspiration from some stuff out there. And it's not a bad thing. It's just like, oh, I see that you like these type of films and want to do that style.
All right, so 4 skulls for me, 2.5 skulls for Michelle. That's 3.25 skull average. We're going to get into spoiler territory now, so if you want to go watch it before we do that, this is where you're going to want to stop. Michelle.
Yeah.
Do you want to recap the plot of this film for our listeners, please?
Yes. Oh God, we're a half hour into this. Let's see how much I remember of a movie I watched last night. With each minute that goes on,
is this even a horror movie podcast anymore? No, not really.
I just want to talk about socks. Okay. So Lola is a true crime podcaster, and she goes back to her small town. I don't think she's been there since she transitioned to a woman. And small town, lots of shitty people with bad views. So a big part of the movie is just her talking to people from her childhood who suck. And they still live in the small town, and they're very judgy of her. But there's also this horror, urban legend kind of thing of this guy who freaked out and killed all of... The toy maker. He gave out toys to all of the kids and then murdered his entire family on Christmas. So that's going on. And then she goes back, and now there's somebody reenacting those kinds of crimes dressed as a Santa, but with like a super cool, like, they were sitting at home and they're like, I feel kind of craftsy about this. And they went to town on like the Santa mask. So got to give them an A for effort. They probably did really well during art class in high school. So there's that Santa going on. They are specifically targeting members of the LGBTQ plus community. Lots of really good representation in this, by the way. But unfortunately, a lot of those people wind up being the victims. And then it turns out that Santa is a homophobe. So it's just like a small town, small-minded man. I'm not even fully sure what his motivation is, except that he just hates rainbows, is what it seems like. He's just a typical, like, I hate anything different than me kind of man. There's not like, I watched his monologue, or like when he's chasing her down twice, and I'm still not sure, but I think that's also, I have a hard time wrapping my head around the logic of just hating another person for existing to begin with. So, he gets, he's Santa, and Santa, he wasn't giving out presents this year. He was giving out death. So they track him down, and then I think Lola just goes back to being like a cool true crime podcaster, and life continues in a good way. Happy holidays, Carnage for Christmas. Do you want to open your gift to me? It's a knife.
I do want to point out, because you can see it on the image on the landing page for the movie on Shudder. I do appreciate it anytime a killer in a movie uses just a standard toolbox claw hammer. It's always a preferred weapon on my list of weapons that I'd like to see in a horror movie. I'm
glad you clarified that it's not just your preferred weapon.
Yeah.
Because
my preferred weapon is no weapon at all. My preferred weapon in life. I don't like weapons.
My preferred weapon is a pen.
But oh Jesus Christ! Can I? So I actually
write.
I took some notes down for this movie, which is not a thing that I usually do, because I thought the movie did a decent job of look. First of all, I really enjoyed the very campy, like Scooby-Doo, Nancy Drew Mysteries kind of angle of this, right?
Yep.
Like
it's just all the things that are not for me, but perfectly made for you.
It's obviously more serious, and it's more violent crime and this sort of thing, but the way it plays out is very. Look, before I even get too far into it, when I tell you that I heard that the name of this podcast was Nancy Crew, and I had to stop the movie howling with laughter. Alice Mayo McKay may have come up with the greatest fucking podcast name ever. that functions on so many levels. I love that so much. Nancy, so it's like a play on Nancy Drew, but then also, of course, Nancy, sort of a derogatory slang that I did a little digging, and it seems like maybe something that's kind of been, that's sort of taken back in a certain way, used, amongst. But I mean, obviously, with the fact that they're using it as part of their podcast name, but it hit me all at once, and I was just like, that is a fucking brilliant name. And I think from that point on, somehow, that name of that podcast alone, I was just on board.
I saw that status and knew you were going to like the movie. I saw you post that on Facebook and went, JD liked the movie.
A couple of things also that I want to point out. Early on, they're watching a news report about the first murders, and it's like edited footage of supposedly live on the scene, and they just got footage of this dude walking up to the car and seeing the corpses and then vomiting on the street as if that would be part of the news report. It just, I don't know, little things along the way. There was a point, and this is where they're just obviously not caring about the limitations, where a guy was like revealing a dude's brain in his head, but he was literally just like peeling back scalp as if there was no skull between the scalp and the brain. And then the big climactic sequence when the drag queen comes in and she's like whooping this dude with her giant dunce cap bra, and all it fucking chaos. I laughed a lot in this movie. I loved the tone of it. I thought it was really fun in a lot of levels. Did you not think this was a fun movie, Michelle?
I hate it because we just talked a couple weeks ago about how I'm realizing I hate comedy.
Bad.
I know. Here's what I'll say. It is a good movie to have in the background while you were wrapping presents. Which is what I did. I got distracted.
Did you at least, Michelle, catch the Zelda Adams cameo?
I didn't. Well, okay, let me try that again. I didn't on my own. I saw your post before I started the movie. Let me try that again. So okay. I went in knowing that there was a Zelda Adams cameo.
Oh, okay.
Because you posted on the We Watch Shutter Instagram, and I got a notification that Zelda Adams had commented on post and went, "What the fuck? Zelda knows we exist." And so I had to go see immediately, and then went, "Oh, I haven't seen the movie yet." So not on my own.
Sorry.
There's a Zelda. No, it's fine. Yeah. This is just you have a hard time containing thoughts until we record.
I mean, she's credited.
And it's exciting.
She's credited in the movie. It's not like it was a big secret.
I know, it's not a spoiler.
But
I'm just saying, like, I didn't catch it.
No, and it's just this one hilarious line about a dog, and then she's gone. I don't even remember what the line was, but no, I really enjoyed this. I do very much appreciate, this is the kind of movie where I can't speak with absolute certainty, but it definitely leaves one with the impression that at least the vast majority of the people on screen or the people involved in making the film belong to the queer community in some level, and I love seeing that, right? I just watched a movie that we're going to be announcing for Darkest Day of Horror Film Festival, where pretty much every single person who appears on screen is a gay man. And I just the fact that I personally love these very aggressive bits of representation where we say, no, we're not just going to give you one thing. The whole fucking movie is going to be this. There's something about that that I really love that it's happening right now, and we're getting some great stories and some fun ideas. There's a shot in this movie that it's so simple, and I don't know, maybe I'm thinking it's a bigger deal than it is. But there's a moment where the main character, I forgot her name. What is it? Lola and her sister are talking about the case or something, and Lola runs off. And it's this simple moment where the line is, her sister just says, she hasn't changed a fucking bit. And you blow by it so quickly, and in the context of it, the way it's happened, it makes you feel like, oh, she's just saying hasn't changed from like when she was younger until now, but that is what she's saying. And like just like the depth of that, which is like she was still he when she left the town, right? She transitioned after leaving, and comes back, and just that the implication of that, it was so simple and passes right by, but I thought it was such a powerful moment where it's just like, no, this is the exact person. In fact, the previous version was in a lot of ways the fraud, or the mask, in however you want to say it. Something about that moment I just thought was really great. I loved the spirit of the movie. I thought it was a really good time. I don't know what else to say about it.
I just blinked out. I also guess I don't have a lot more, if anything, to say about it.
I thought you meant I made you blank out with my tedious rant.
No, I was lost in thought about the "she hasn't changed a bit" and how good that line is, because I did not.
Such a genius moment, right? Because like, obviously the ideal in these sorts of situations is we create a movie that's flooded with this kind of representation, but ultimately you forget that that's what's happening. And that's kind of like, that's why I think that line sort of came at me, because I had just accepted everything about what this is and who these people were. And I don't say that to brag. I just I appreciate movies that I appreciate that movies like this, with this level of representation and this level of being steeped in the queer community, are being given platforms like this. Which, you want to say anything on that? I think we're going to talk about what I wanted to talk about.
We can, but I just want to give another shout out to just Lola and the person who plays Lola, Jeremy Moineau, Moineau. I'm not sure their pronouns, so I'm just gonna go with they're listed as an actress on IMDb, but I don't think we have like a great gender neutral word, because actor also covers females, but obviously it has implications. So we're just gonna go. I love them. I love their voice. I would love to see more. Their IMDb lists only Carnage for Christmas. And one other thing that I don't remember the name of, but was like a Tales of, that didn't seem to be a full-length movie. Their Instagram, the like little bio says, "Come for the nudes, stay for the human rights." So I just enjoyed them as a person, I think. And I want to see more.
Something I can tell you, I don't know the situation. That performer also is in T Blockers under a different name.
Oh, see, I was just looking at the IMDb, and it must not be linked.
No, yeah, well, and I don't remember specifically which of the cast members it is, but I know that actor, the gender-neutral actor, is in that film as well. So I don't know if it's like...
I don't see them listed.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's a different name.
Yeah. Oh, I guess. Yeah, like a completely different name. I got you. I got what you're saying now. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is. I think it's Lauren
I'm going to watch it. I'll report back.
Yeah. But no, so, she's fantastic. I need to watch it again because I didn't quite catch it, but I think in the flashback scenes, because there's that flashback where the dude from the gas station, who seems like a real tough guy asshole, like it's like a flashback to a party, and there's somebody that he punches, and it didn't dawn on me until we got to the end of the movie that the person he punches is Lola before transitioning. And I'm not sure if that's the case. I want to go back and see if I can verify, but even something like that for somebody who in their life is transitioning, to be willing to go back to that presentation as part of the story that's being told here. I mean, that's that's not nothing. And so if that is what I thought it was, I think even that is a very significant thing. So far as just what we're seeing with movies like this. I did go back and watch T-Blockers already. I prefer Carnage for Christmas, and I'm definitely going to be checking out the rest of them that I haven't seen. But
I see. So you've seen T-Blockers and recognized Lola.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah,
I didn't know you'd
saying.
Seen it. That's why I was like, I don't, but they're not on. Okay. I see. I haven't seen it yet.
And it is the cast member credited as Lauren Last. But I'm certain
the
it's
last
the same
person
performer.
You'd suspect.
I'm 100% certain it's the same performer. So I don't know what the situation is there with naming or what, but unless I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say I'm 100% certain. Maybe I'm completely off my boat, but.
Well, I'm following Jeremy Mono on
Fantastic
Instagram
performer.
now, so that's what I know about that situation.
Yeah. But anyway, I strongly recommend you check out these films. I do want to talk about because the last I'll be honest, I'm not fully up to speed on it, and Michelle clearly knows more about the latest than I do. But it was real interesting. I went to check out. I was just looking at Alice Mayo McKay's social medias just to see what information I could find out about them as a filmmaker. And this thing, I see this thing about how like Shudder is apparently doing nothing to actively police the review sections. Because they just put up not just Carnage for Christmas, but T-Blockers and Satanic Panic. They're specifically highlighting these trans filmmakers' films, and then there's like all of these just incredibly transphobic, gross reviews being put up that are just not being addressed at all. And I like as Alice pointed out, but this is a platform that, they've long sort of heralded themselves as like supporters of queer horror. There was that whole Queer for Fear thing a couple of years ago that they produced that was so great, by the way. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. But I was really kind of bothered by that situation, and apparently you've updated this. Tell me what's going on with this.
Not necessarily as I thought of it, like not necessarily an update, but okay, first off, the Shudder comments are a cesspool on all movies, and it's partially why I switched to having a Shudder subscription through Prime. Like it sucks, and it's a problem with any movie that has any sort of non-straight white male seems to be a problem. Like we've seen it on like even just like female directors who just happen to be like a woman making a movie about a horror movie, or what was the not Lisa Frankenstein, an angry black girl and her monster. Like the comments were just awful. So it is comment moderation on Shudder is a problem. And I made the mistake because I watch it through Amazon now, and yesterday there had been a not great review under oh my god, which one are we talking about? Carnage for Christmas. And that was taken down. So I went, ooh, look, they're moderating now. But that's on the Prime platform, and Shudder probably still sucks for it. Shudder comments are a massive problem, and I do not like it. And that's why I go through Amazon.
The Shudder system doesn't always necessarily show you the same reviews every time you go to the page.
It's you and I have seen that where like we have completely different reviews, so it's like, why are these the ones that are visible when I'm going to see it? Why is your algorithm so broken that it thinks I want to see the comment that this was made by a man over and over and over again, and why are you allowing that? It's a problem. I just have very strong feelings about Shudder comment sections in general, and I went, "Ooh, look, they made it slightly better," but no, Amazon made it better.
Yeah,
Shudder is still accessible.
So, yeah, that's disappointing. I don't know. I guess what can you do? But I strongly recommend you check out these films, or at least Carnage for Christmas. I liked T-Blockers again, but I thought Carnage for Christmas was the better of the films. I haven't seen Satanic Panic yet.
That's actually the one that I've been most excited for. Just because it's the one that I know the least about. But, I mean, out of all of these, the ones I was most excited about were T-Blockers and Satanic Panic. Carnage for Christmas was actually lowest on my list, so it's kind of cool that I get to start with that one, and then like, okay, this was more my thing than So Vam was, at least. And I don't have to be as alarmed. Because I definitely was alarmed. I went, oh no, it's going to be high school stuff, and I'm not going to relate to these young children and their hip attitudes and their nonchalance and their ennui.
Look, I'm going to tell you, right? The fact that Alice Mayo McKay has made 5 feature films in the last 3 years, all before turning 20 years old. That's a level of ambition and productivity that is almost mind-numbing to me, and I am definitely very, very excited to see what she does next.
She's the Stephen King of indie horror. Just keep pumping out that content. You want 80 movies within 3 years? Let me do a bunch of cocaine about it, and I'll deliver.
Let me do a bunch of cocaine about it. That's a great line, Michelle. That's good stuff.
That's my slogan for 2025. Let me do a bunch of cocaine about it.
All right. Well, so as everybody drifts off to sleep, Michelle, how is your Christmas Day ending? How are things wrapping up for you? If people are listening to this,
if it goes the way that I want it to. I will be sitting in my living room that is completely decorated for Christmas. And for the first time since we bought this house many, many years ago, we went all out. There's lights all over the place. I have a wreath. There's a fucking wreath in my house. I have an arrangement on the coffee table. There's a silver shit all over the stairs. Like, we decorated all out. And if things go the way that I want to, when we get home, it will be lightly snowing, but not dangerous snow outside. We will have dropped my father off at his home. My husband and I will be bundled up on the couch, sipping some hot cocoa with our furry family members, the dog and the 4 cats, all of which are very calmly sitting and making no noise and just very relaxed and subdued. And we will be enjoying my favorite Christmas movie, 28 Days Later. That's how I spend every Christmas.
Look, can I just say quickly, this whole 28 years later thing, I don't have anything against this movie, right? I've never seen 28 Days Later. I've never seen 28 Weeks Later. Yeah.
Hang on.
No,
I did not know that.
Here's what I will tell you.
Wow.
If I have to hear one more time,
ruined Christmas.
If I have to hear one more time about how this movie was shot on an iPhone, I don't know. I might stab my own ears out and curl up in my bed and bleed to death.
I think I've only seen that stated once, so your algorithm is just pumping you full of that information because it knows you hate it and you're talking about it.
Yeah, so the capture device was. Have you seen the pictures? It's like an iPhone and $20,000 worth of aftermarket. I don't even know why I'm so goddamn upset about it. Probably because that's how my brain works. But
I think you're getting that pumped into your algorithm a lot because you have strong feelings about it. I've only seen it once and did not give a shit. So now I'm just getting all the sneak images. I was not going to watch the trailer for 28 Years Later. I lasted 3 hours before I could not handle all the screenshots and the secret cameos. And, is that Cillian Murphy? It's not actually Cillian Murphy. It's this completely different actor. Oh, does Cillian have a cameo? I wonder where he is in all this. Is he going to show up? Like, all the discussions. I had to watch the trailer, and now I'm so fucking hype and I knew I would get too hype. I like to avoid trailers if I'm already hype, and now the hype train has left the station. It departed, and I'm on it, and I don't know where the fuck we're going because it's way too far into the future. I don't even know if we have a release date yet, but I know it's like not next week, and that's way too far away, and I want off the fucking train. Let me go back to the station where I was just chilling, reading a book, minding my own business, not getting my heart rate up about a potential fast zombie movie. What does the poster mean that they've evolved? How does a zombie evolve 28 years later?
They're not zombies.
Well, yeah, of course, because they've evolved. What does it mean?
It's a rage
Wait,
virus.
are you saying the 28... No. 28 Days Later is definitely about zombies. It's a virus that spreads between human fluid and causes you to become one of them. That's a zombie.
No, zombie is somebody who comes back from the dead.
No.
It's a rage virus. It's not a zombie.
No. I am... Okay,
They're not zombies.
The second we get off this call, I will be looking up every zombie movie I am aware of and sending you examples of all of the times that same thing is true. It doesn't mean... But also, like, that happens in 28 Days Later. They do die, and then they come back. So I don't even know why I'm arguing with you about this. You haven't seen the movies. They die. You have, like, a couple seconds to kill them so that they don't die and come back. They're zombies. It's just spread through a rage virus. So if that's your argument, watch the fucking movies. They die first. I'm so mad right now.
They're not
JD.
Zombies.
JD, don't you fuck. I was so much happier an hour ago when we were talking about socks. And now
Boyle.
I am full of rage
Boyle.
virus. Yeah, they fucking die, JD.
Ask Danny
They
Boyle.
do die.
He'll tell you it's not a zombie movie.
Does he actually say that?
Yeah.
Because he's on my shit list. I'm sending him coal. It's a zombie movie. I don't care. Fuck Danny Boyle. I don't care what he says. I know more about his movie. I've seen all the behind the scenes footage. I have seen the complete storyboard where the second half of the movie was going to be completely different. And I am very interested in that other version of 28 Days Later that we could have gotten. But I'm happy with the one we wound up with. I've seen all the alternate endings. Don't you fucking do this to me, JD.
They're not zombies. This is a rage virus.
I'm full of a rage virus and I need to know. Also, you know now, because you've probably told me and I've just blocked it out because it's so horrifying to me. But the next time that you say, okay, it's your time to pick a movie for the free-for-all day because there's nothing scheduled, it will be 28 Days Later, and thank you for that. It finally hit streaming services for the first time in years. I have it on DVD, and they waited until after the 28 Years Later trailer came out, so people were frantic to find it streaming someplace, and they couldn't. And I do love that frustration because physical media is king, and I do like to be like, haha, suckers. But then I'm glad that they did have access to it, but they did have to wait a day and get it on DVD. It's a great fucking movie.
Also,
yeah.
They're not zombies.
No. I don't think we can be friends. Not that we were. We have been enemies the entire time. We are the Siskel and Ebert of very low rate horror comedy podcasts.
I'm just saying, I'm reading a thing right now that says that the people don't have to be dead for the rage virus to take them over. So, you know,
they definitely die though.
It's not. They're not zombies.
Okay. I will have you know that when I watch this on Christmas, which by the time this episode came out, maybe I'll have seen it again, I will have a notepad and I will be writing down every time I watch somebody transition from a human to a zombie. And if it comes back that they're not actually dying,
it's not a
I'm
zombie
gonna be upset,
movie.
But I don't care because that's not my definition of a
They're not
zombie. You
zombies.
can have your own definition. You can't try to police my definition.
They're not zombies.
Better. Wow. Okay. Well, I have to go now. You ruined Christmas. I can't believe that on the 22nd of Christmas. I'm gonna have to watch it tonight.
Did you just say on the 22nd of Christmas?
Yeah, the 22nd of Christmas. That you have done this to me. We're only on day 3 of Christmas.
The 22nd of Christmas.
I am full of rage. Okay, well, I have to go now.
Would you say you're full of a rage virus?
Am I a zombie? Yeah, I am. I am controlled by a virus. It's called capitalism.
Oh, aren't we all? Okay, we've had our fun. These people are like, wow, you spent how many minutes in that? We had to talk about socks. We had to talk about how 28 Days Later is not a zombie movie. Say goodnight, Michelle.
Hang on. Just take a deep breath. Okay. Can't go into the new year with this mentality. Okay, good night, Michelle.
For more horror content, visit WeWatchShutter.com, where you'll find our world-famous, patent-pending Ghoul blog and Squelch files, as well as a schedule of upcoming episodes. Find us on social media at WeWatchShutter on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I guess Twitter if you're still doing that for whatever reason. You can email us. mail@WeWatchShutter.com is the address. mail@WeWatchShutter.com. You can even call and leave us a voicemail, 701-566-9510. No, really. 701-566-9510. Give it a shot. See what happens. We Watch Shutter is a production of Rat Factory Media.